And welcome in there, Gyms and Gymettes, to another exciting episode of No Substitute for Sports. My name is Nick Johnson. I'm your host here today, coming at you. Pretty fun day, pretty exciting weekend of football. Oh, man, we had some wrestling to go over as well. We got a ton. I mean, there's just going to be a ton of stuff to get into. Let me get into you. Joining me today, one of the lambs today is Mike Fat Cat. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How did you enjoy how was the day today? Do anything crazy or just a nice little chill little day?
Just to say, yeah, nice chill day, just working and now just chilling, doing this podcast, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we'll be getting into the rundown basically, like I just said. We'll be previewing or reviewing, excuse me, all the exciting affairs that happen. We'll give maybe a little insight into next week's stuff. If we got some time on that. I got a ton of new stuff. I got some good news, some brand new news, and maybe a fun little snippet before we get started. But yeah, let me go ahead and just get started with that. Bing bang bong, welcome in to the new world, the new sponsor, Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers here. I guess I don't have all the details in front of me exactly of what they knew, the rules and regulations, but I'm gonna assume, like usual, got to be in the state of Illinois to most likely enjoy this the bargain and whatever the deal that comes with it, which is just one risk-free bet after
Holy.
after your first one doesn't hit, up to $500. So go ahead, sign up. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to botch the URL right in the first get go. So let me get this right away. Uh, so here we go. It's gonna be bit.ly/no sub bets. No sub bets is all together. Again, that's bit.ly/no sub bets. You, like I said, go ahead and use that little link, sign up, and you get a free risk free bet after your first one doesn't cash, up to $500. Seems pretty fun to me. I know, like I said, gotta be probably 21 and over to do that. Be in Illinois to go ahead and do that as well. I mean, I'm assuming Bet Rivers is only here, so cool. And as always, got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I know someone that might have a problem that was in front of me earlier. I was talking about, maybe you had a good week. This happened to me earlier in the weekend or weekday. God. So I just want to get your opinion on it. I just want to see maybe
Let's
this
hear
idea of mine is if it's just me being an asswipe, or if it's like I said, maybe it's just me, the person in front of me was being just very inconsiderate of anybody that was behind them. So I'm just talking about
it.
interactions at the ATM, drive-through ATMs in particular. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this if I haven't already said it before. Maybe I have. Just sometimes I overlap my ideas. There needs to be a shot clock on an ATM machine. There's no reason to be at the ATM for as long as you are. So here we go. Here's the rules and regulations. 30 seconds. You get 30 seconds. Somehow, some way, a sensor reads you. Your 30 seconds begins. You put, or it just begins when you put your.
That's not enough
You
time.
no. It's definitely enough time. So you put it in. You go ahead, bing bang bong. You get it. You get your money out, and it's going to give you another option most likely. Do you want to do something else? That's when you click yes. You get an additional 15 more seconds on however much time you have left. And if you do not finish in that shot clock time, you lose your card for the day. You lose your card for the day, because if
What?
you're taking that long at
That's
the ATM,
ridiculous.
you're taking that long at the ATM, you are ridiculous, and you're very inconsiderate of others behind you. That's all I have to say. So I'll give you my example. I pull up. I'm right behind this person, and I could already tell that this person is just a ton of fun. Their bumper sticker says, "I run on bitch powder."
Mm,
Excuse me, I run on bitch dust. So I can already tell they're
okay.
tons of fun to hang out with. Uh, also, yeah, just giving me that really trashy vibe. So just already, and then a minute, 2 minutes go by. This person hasn't even got their card out yet, and then finally that happens. So bing bang bong. I feel like you need a shot clock on it. What are your thoughts, Mike? I mean, it sounds like you're opposed to
That's ridiculous. You're
it.
gonna take my card for the day
Yeah,
because
you
I
get it
missed
back
it?
tomorrow.
No.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I do get mad when people take absurd amount of times, but it doesn't seem like enough time.
Okay, all right, fair.
30 seconds.
We'll work on the shot clock, the amount of time, but there needs to be like the amount of time that this person was in front of me was absurd. So I mean, that maybe not 30 seconds. I'll give you a minute or two, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that seems more
there's
reasonable.
just any more than a minute. There's no reason. What could you possibly doing there be at the ATM? It's you need money or you're putting in money, and then that's it. You either get the money or you wait for a receipt. That's the transition. That's what happens there. Any longer than 45 minutes, 45 seconds to a minute just seems ridiculous to me. So I don't know. I'm more than okay. I'm willing to die on that hill only by myself. If it's just going to be me, I'm more than okay to deal with that. Uh,
We'll have to see what everyone else thinks about that, because
yeah, there you
that's
go. Maybe throw your idea down there in a comment if you're that passionate about it. Something that we were passionate about, besides the football that was going on, was the Critics' Choice Awards. And just wanted to quickly shout that out only because finally, Better Call Saul got some recognition that it damn well deserved. Besides what show of the year,
it's like
yeah,
drama series or
best drama
something. Yeah,
series.
best drama
Giancarlo
series.
Esposito got best supporting
Supporting
actor,
actor.
and finally, our boy Bob Odenkirk gets best actor in a drama series. I think the only one that didn't really get anything was the woman that I don't know her name that does
Like
that play.
Like Rhea Seahorn or
Yeah,
something. I'm not something like
yeah,
that.
basically everything else. I think Better Call Saul cleaned up at the Critics' Choice Award because everyone needs to be woke now at these award shows to get anything. So it's understandable. But I mean, they cleaned up. I just wanted to, I know because you're a big fan. You went ahead, you actually finished the series. I did not. I'm still just bouncing around on everything. I
Huh.
know it's still on the waiting list of things to do. So just
Yeah, you gotta finish it. It's very good.
oh yeah, yeah. I
Very good.
got into it early. I don't know why. Just with these shows, like it burned so bright, and then I get burnt out. It's never the show with these. It's never the show. I'll never blame the show. It's always me that gets burnt out. I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, you'll start watching different shows. And then that's the pro
Absolutely.
I always tell myself, you once you start watching a show, I have to finish that show and I won't watch any other show because then if I start watching something else, I'm gonna not finish that other show. So I have to get locked into one show and then finish that before I start watching
Oh yeah.
something else because I know I won't finish it.
Yeah. So I mean, I just wanted to take our time, take our couple seconds to give our flowers to Bob. I mean, obviously everyone there. That show was fun to watch from beginning to end. Like I said, didn't finish it just yet. I know you did. So I just if you had any other parting words on for Bob, if he happens to stumble across this bad boy.
We love you, Bob. You should have won more awards for this
Oh yeah,
show. It
yeah.
was just as good as Breaking Bad, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, some could probably argue if not better, but I mean, I won't step over that line just yet. I know everyone's just kind of it's gonna be
Yeah,
set in stone, but I mean, when it does that wasn't the challenge to make it better. If just to be just as good, if not, just if not better.
hmm
That's always the thing. So that's always fun. Final little quick little tidbit if you were good on like I said, giving our flowers, giving our congratulatory messages to to Better Call Saul. Just one last thing. I mean, just upsetting for maybe, but what would it be when there's a door closing, a window's opening? Sure enough, rest in peace to Sierra Mist. I was
hmm
also wondering the same thing when it happened. What am I going to drink when I have a tummy ache or I'm feeling anxious? Just now they have something else. There, boom, Starry, here it comes.
Sorry.
No free ads or anything on here. Go do the Bet Rivers thing before you go buy some Starry. But just, I mean, I don't know. I figured this was going to be the exact same thing. They had said that they were going to discontinue it and just put a new label on it. They've done this isn't brand new. A ton of companies have done this before. So I mean, have you tried it yet? I haven't.
No, we have our buddy Kyle that tried it, and he said that it has a stronger like lemon taste to it. He was saying like lemon lime taste, but we'll see. If I thought it would be no different from
Yeah, I
Sierra
don't.
Mist. I was like, they just slapping a new label on it, and it's new. It's Starry. We're
Yeah, I know.
Starry.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's just probably nothing new. If there's a couple ingredients, like a couple discontinued sugars that that they have going on there over at the Pepsi Cola company, and then just I just know that you're a Sprite kind of guy, so
Oh, I'm
that's
Sprite.
the go to for you, Mountain
So
Dew.
fuck any of those competitors.
Mountain
Like,
Dew is my go to. That's what I mean. That's just I'll fucking fight somebody over it. So that's just how it
mm,
goes. Sip on that. But I mean, yeah, story ought to be good. Give it a shot. Give it a try. We'll give it a rate, review, and response. But obviously, nothing's gonna top uh, a fountain. A fountain soda Sprite from like I said, when you go to a McDonald's and you get it out of the fountain, that's the best type of Sprite. I mean, I'll go hands down and
yeah.
say that one without a doubt. Then it would probably, maybe I'll give Alan the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the Mexican Sprite that's in the bottle, that's in the glass bottle.
Mm,
I'll give Alan the benefit of the doubt on that one. Maybe that one's pretty good. He says
Mexican
it's a different
Sprite.
sugar. It's probably nothing different. If you were good on the story, I feel like we can getting into the news, the notes, the NFL, the sports, all the fun jazz that we got to watch over the weekend.
Let's
You good
hit
on
it.
that one?
Yeah.
Ready to roll, ready to roll. Like I said, we got a ton of action to get into. Got some sideline shenanigans, I guess I should say, is what would it be? I mean, from the airport to the Snapchat stories,
Oh.
got some some knuckleheads, as the kids say. But I want to start off with what the Bears CEO was talking about today. New Bears CEO, off the top of my head. I wish I took the
Uh,
time to remember the name. I'm not going to. I'm just going to get into it. I didn't even watch the speech necessarily. Just caught some highlights on just between just reading it on Instagram and just seeing stuff and other things. He said all the right things. I felt good on that. I guess the main takeaway that a lot of people are looking forward to, besides him saying we want to win the North, we want to win a championship, we want to win a Super Bowl. He wants to make a nice, easy, smooth transition from Soldier Field to Arlington Park. So I mean, that's just it right then and there. No reason to stay in Soldier Field. I don't know when exactly dates and times will be on that, but I'm okay with it. More everyone's gonna bitch and moan. Oh, I'm gonna take the Bears out of Chicago. There's a ton of teams that aren't in their actual city name. And again, I was all for it. Get them in, get the people in a good facility that can actually maintain, all the big capacity that we want to hold. Put them on a nice brand new field, and it's just gonna be better to tailgate, easier to get in and get out. So I mean, it's just all the problems that Soldier Fields has. Sure enough, everyone was probably ranting and raving about that 3D model that came out about a week or two ago, and that was the big news and big hype for a week or two, and that's exactly that. But I mean, that was the last ditch effort by them. They're not going to get the Bears back. So I don't know. I'm all for it. I'm okay. I don't know if you have anything opposed to it, or if you got anything on that.
I didn't have anything on the Bears,
Uh,
man.
yeah, I mean, figured. I know. We're gonna be out there. We're gonna be doing exactly what we want to do.
Yeah, they're gonna have a great off season.
I hope
Just
so.
have
Let's
to I
hope and
just
hope
have to
so.
see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I'm starting to think about, and well, not necessarily worry about, I wouldn't hit the panic button just yet, is just everyone, a lot of this for quarterback free agency might be a little bit bigger pool than we thought it is. So hopefully, a team like the Baltimore Ravens actually re-signs Lamar Jackson. Don't really know where Derek Carr is going to go, and now it's up in the air, I guess, with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, whether or not both or one of them are just going to retire. To me, I know we're going to get into it a little bit later, but I think Tom Brady's last little thank you and his gratitude towards all the reporters, that was maybe just a farewell to the Tampa Bay reporters. I feel like he's not.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done just yet. I think we'll get.
Rogers isn't done. He was on Pat McAfee today,
Yeah.
and he said I can win MVP next season if I want to.
Oh, is that what he said? I'm sure
Yeah.
that's exactly what he said after he just got
He
done
said
saying,
I'm still playing at a high
I gotta
level. He
watch
said
my
if
mouth. I gotta watch what I say. He gets done saying, I'm gonna win MVP
he
next
said if
season.
I want to, I can if I'm in the right situation.
Oh, in the right
Mm.
situation. Hmm.
So
I
I
don't
don't
think that
know.
right situation might not be Green Bay then.
Okay.
Ah.
He
Oh,
said if they're
geez.
rebuilding, I'm not there.
Oh Lord. Wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm reading something really quick. Sadly, Jamin Pugh has passed away, known as Jay Briscoe. Oh my God, no fucking
No,
way. The brother of
no.
I mean, this is just I'm reading this right now, and this just got tweeted out 8:25 January 17th. So maybe about it's not 8:25 right now as we're recording, so maybe just on the East Coast side. Yeah, Jay Briscoe of the Briscoe brothers in a car accident has passed away, unfortunately. Currently, the one half of the reigning ROH World Tag Team Champions. Uh, yeah, I mean that's just very upsetting. I honestly don't know what to say. I was trying to silence my phone just now and try and get some sort of just what, but I just saw Vince's car accident. I was I'm like, oh shit, my buddy Vince was like, nope, sure enough. Like I said, I'm just all over the place right now because it's very upsetting. I don't even know what we were just talking about right now,
Holy
but
fuck.
uh, I mean this is a huge push into the Ring of Honor type of world. I mean, this was going to be oh my god, I got chills right now just thinking about it. I mean, there was so much potential for the next upcoming months, years into the world, and what Ring of Honor could have been now that Tony Khan's got the hold of it. And this is upsetting. This is very upsetting right now.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm a little honestly a little choked up right now. But this is yeah, just not what you I want to hear at all. Just yeah, you got. I mean, it's very. I mean, our condolences to the family and just to the Briscoes and everything involved. That's just it's not what you want to hear. I'm sorry. Just I don't. I'm sorry to you if I just upsetting you with this information as
I
well.
mean, it's
Yeah, no,
breaking news. That's
yeah, no,
fucked up.
that's yeah, very very upsetting. I'm just gonna I guess just to make a very wrong, I don't know, bad transition back into sports and everything. Unless you got something else on the Briscoes.
I mean, we love the Briscoes, and
Yeah,
I mean, they always remember their match against FTR at the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which was great. I
yeah,
mean,
jeez.
they won the titles, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't even yeah, FTR is definitely gonna have something to say about that. That's
Yeah,
just horrible.
absolutely. And they, I believe on their podcast, they recently just announced that they were going to take a break. That, well, for some people that are already like read the dirt sheets, kind of knew that they had been wanting to do this for some time, probably just to focus on a New Japan tour or to focus on just taking a break in general. They've been all over the place. But yeah, just I'm sure they'll be on their podcast giving a way better
Yeah, I
tribute
mean,
than I'm doing right now. Because I mean, I'm at a
we're
loss for
not
words.
expecting
Not
this
at
at
all.
all.
I mean, I have 4 pages of notes set up right now, and none of that had that right there. This is brand spanking new. I'm just, oh fuck. It's just obviously just when a crazy accident happens like that, it makes you want to grab your loved ones and just hold them a little tighter. So just appreciate
Yeah.
everybody. Like I said last when I sort of close out the episode, take care of yourself, take care of each other. That's what you want to do. That's what it's all about. Like I said, ooh, we'll get back into it. Yeah,
Yeah,
just I
that's
don't even like I said, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about the Bears CEO, but just I mean, yeah, if they got anything on that, that was just all the good things that you wanted to hear out of the Bears CEO. We're hoping for the same thing out of a Bears good season. Like I said, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Yeah, if you like I said, I know you got nothing on the Bears, so I'll get into maybe just I mean just a story that also broke earlier today and something I wasn't I honestly didn't read about this. I was at work, I was shipping stuff out and everything, but while I was doing that, Antonio Brown decided to just put his penis up on Snapchat. So I
yeah.
guess I don't know what this guy is up to. It's day after day. I mean, what can I say that anyone else doesn't already think, feel, or like think about this guy? Like he just it's really just like, hey, all this football happened, this big week of playoff football. No one's paying attention to me. It's time to put my dick up online. I guess that's just. I mean, you got a strong following after putting up all those Tom Brady pictures. I'm sure. So people were. So I'm sure a lot of people saw that. I don't know exactly the number and whatever, but his account suspended. Did you were able to take a look at that honker?
No, I just saw people posting about it. I saw the memes and stuff and kind of just made a guess as to what it was.
There you go. Yeah, no, that was
And then, yeah, we looked it up and yeah, it was basically what we thought.
yeah, sure enough. I know I don't think it's just a straight up dick pic, but I think we were talking like it's
The
uh
reports were just saying it was like,
his
yeah, it was
girlfriend or
his girlfriend was giving him head or
his baby,
something,
yeah, his
and
baby
he
mama or
posted it
something like
on
that.
Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah, just I mean, I would say unfortunate, but this guy is just proven time and time and again that he's just not there mentally. Just and I don't even know. It's just a loss of words constantly for this guy. There's no redeeming it at this point. He's done.
Oh,
Like the and again, I
he's
just
a
love like
joke.
the reactions, like his memes of his PR team, like no, fuck no. Wait. That was the one. It was the when he's in the Punisher and he's like locked in the chair. He's like, I'm gonna post something. He's like, wait. So it's like, oh fuck. Yeah, I don't even know. So I mean, for honestly for competition, it happened earlier in this week. So you can choose between Antonio Brown or OBJ, who was the bigger dumbass of the week. And I guess the other report is, if you didn't already know, OBJ was kicked off a plane. The footage went viral, sure enough. I don't know if this was a little time ago, just because they were
No,
finally able to
yeah,
get the
that was
footage.
it was about like a month ago. I think it
Okay.
was after when he was in Dallas
Yeah.
with all those players. And yeah, that's it's just that video is so funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
just
long video.
completely awful, completely non-cooperative. You just made the entire plane deboard all because you didn't want to buckle your seatbelt after being told multiple times that we will have to deboard the plane if unless you buckle your seatbelt. And he says, I don't care, do it. And he makes everyone get off. I'm sure I don't exactly remember the interaction, but someone said something to him. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So it's just like it shows that it was beyond just, maybe just beyond his physical ability, his physical capability. It's still his character might be a problem as to why he wasn't signed this year. I'm sure more or less
Yeah.
it's gonna lean towards the physical side. A torn ACL is not probably not a physically not 100% done unless it's a full calendar
Yeah,
year in my
I
mind.
don't think that he was physically ready this season anyway,
Yeah,
and yeah,
showing
then
mentally
there's
he's not
that
ready
stuff
either.
about the plane and then I sent that stuff to our group chat that one day where he was on the shop or whatever it's called, and he was talking
Mm-hmm.
about like I only want to play like when it matters most, like in the playoffs. So I was like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up, dude.
That just goes to show you, all those examples show you exactly where he's at mentally. And if he just thinks he's better than you, and I mean he's not MJF, I mean it's just not how it is. He's just getting why exactly it was in that video, that's his mentality of, I think I don't need to show up for the regular season, so what, all 11 other guys make sure you do the dirty work and the grunge work,
Yeah, and then I want to
I'll
be the star when it
yeah,
matters
I'll
most.
show up. Not yeah. Hopefully, if knowing him, he probably would have showed up on a number one seed team and then got an extra week off and then got into another week to do that. So it's just like, dude,
And
hey,
yeah, that's
you're
what
an
he's gonna
ass.
jump. He was gonna jump on the Cowboys, and they're stacked. Like that's
Absolutely,
a
yeah. It's just not a good look, not a good move in any point in time. So yeah, good on the Cowboys for taking T.Y. Hilton. I mean, I don't know his stats off the top
yeah.
of my head, but he's probably going to be more of an asset, more of a value than having I mean,
Probably.
I'm not gonna say a washed up OBJ, but just a bummy gimping around OBJ on one leg as of right now. So with that being said, I think we get into these two boy. These games were stacked up to the gills in terms of just how
Oh,
even before the game was even kicked off, we knew we were going to get some good ones.
oh
And then for the
yeah.
ones that we thought were going to be absolute blowouts, kind of surprised us. So I figured, I know obviously everyone wants to jump the gun and get to the Jags and the Chargers. So I think we'll just go
Yeah.
chronologically, hit San Fran, Seattle. We'll go Chargers, and then we'll go the Sunday slate and hit the Monday night game. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and go for Seattle, San Fran. I'll just start off here. Oh, excuse me. Uh,
Close game at
yeah,
first.
that was
Seattle
a
winning
competitive
at
first half.
halftime.
Definitely a competitive first half. I'll give them that. But the 49ers just they had their way battling and strangling it. Just they have a way of just strangling you in the second half, just no matter what. Besides a fourth quarter garbage touchdown from the Seahawks, they were just essentially held scoreless. It really didn't matter what they were doing. Up until that Geno Smith sack fumble, that strip sack for the fumble, and then that's kind of when it just completely flipped the switch. Not
Mhm.
really much that Seattle could have done. Just they just ran just into an absolute buzzsaw that is the 49ers. On the 49ers side, a little bit of a slow start, but Brock Purdy able to move the ball in the rain, not allowing it's not looking like he was afraid to throw into tight windows, and he actually made Brandon Ayuk look like a superstar. And it takes a little much to do that. So as the 49er fans, for 49ers fans, I'm not, excuse me, not me, but just for 49ers fans, you should feel pretty good. I feel like, you should be excited. I mean, a lot of people are already crowning. It's probably a lot of people are saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. I know you got to pull it back a little bit.
They
You got
really
a little bit
can.
of a little bit of a challenge in the Cowboys, but having a -4 at home, that seems pretty good. Like I said, let me see where I'm at in my notes. I feel like the Stars. I feel like the Stars of the 49ers are kind of featured by quarter. I don't know if maybe it's just me. I feel like they get a heavy dose of McCaffrey in the
And then
first,
Kittle, and then
and
you
then
see
yeah, Kittle in the second. You see a lot of Debo in the third, and because they're up so big, you're gonna get the bench guys in the fourth, and you're gonna get Jordan Mason, Eli Mitchell, probably like Ray McLeod and shit like that. And that's exactly that. Their depth is just very scary on the offensive side, and to complement their defense, that just like I said earlier, just absolutely suffocates you. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think we haven't seen them at 100% yet because, like I said, Brock Purdy, he was doing well. He's doing very well. Finished a couple early drives as field goals. If those translate into touchdowns, we're gonna see 50-point blowouts, not just 40-point ones. So this was
Yeah, Brock Purdy is doing very well.
yeah.
And I want like what happens if they win the Super Bowl?
I
Is Trey
I
Lance
I
cooked?
he Brock Purdy might be a starter. Brock Purdy might be the starter. I mean, it would be such a huge issue. I mean, and then to deal with that, to deal with the fallout of like, oh, is this mobile quarterback? Didn't he break his ankle? Wasn't that the whole
Something
problem?
like that,
I
yeah.
mean, a broken ankle on a mobile quarterback, that could be a little bit of an issue. I mean, I know Brock Purdy, he hasn't really. Everyone keeps saying he hasn't hit his big challenge yet. He hasn't shit the bed all just yet. But I mean, with a defense, with a team that's just as stacked as they are in all sort of
He's
aspects, he doesn't really need to rely on that.
he's been playing very well, and he
Yeah.
like he just got shoved into a team. He didn't really know the offense, and he was literally the last pick in the draft, which is crazy. It's just like I know people already comparing him to like Tom Brady and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I mean, if they do win, it will be pretty crazy. I see comments like Trey Lance is about to take the Jordan Love route. Like, he's just probably going to be sitting on the bench watching Brock Purdy for a couple of years. If I mean, how do you can't not start him anymore? Like,
Yeah. It would have to be a big. I mean, I don't at this rate you give him more than just a game to like shit the bed. It would have to be a series of games at this point. So I mean,
he
if he's
hasn't
done,
lost yet, right?
yeah, I don't think he's lost yet. I mean, he's on a roll as San Francisco 49ers and just on an absolute tear.
And
Everything.
he's just getting to know the offense better. Like he's just learning the plays more, and he's just like it's just only going to get better. Like
Yeah.
it's
I mean, everyone, and I mean, Debo coming back. Everyone's like, maybe just the fact that he hasn't been there in a little bit, or he's coming off an injury. Maybe you're not going to be able to go so well. He looked phenomenal. I think he had the most scrimmage yards out of anybody. Uh, well, let me see. I mean, like I said, everyone was just firing at all cylinders on this team, and it wasn't for like anything bad. Like this San Fran just knocking people out like Mike Tyson in his heyday. Like it's just they're scary. It's absolutely scary. So it was
yeah.
good that the Seahawks stayed as competitive as they did. I would argue that the Seahawks were more competitive than the Buccaneers last night in any sort of time. Like the Buccaneers just absolutely were terrible.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, of course,
The
but
Packers would have got fucked up by the
yeah, I think
49ers
so.
probably.
Yeah, I think that was definitely in the sun. They're firing on all cylinders. Like I said, I don't want
I
to
would have
short.
rather seen the Lions
Yeah,
than
that
the
would have been fun too.
Seahawks.
That
They
would
would
have
have
been
put
good
up
too.
way more of a fight than the Seahawks did. But
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, of course, just living in the world of what if, but yeah, of course,
yeah.
just for the sake of like, a lot of people had their kneecap biters for for Dan Campbell and the Lions, so that was the fun thing. My only thing, of course, we were just talking about what do you do with Trey Lance with Brock Purdy if they go ahead and keep succeeding. What do you do with Geno Smith in Seattle?
Geno Smith.
Geno
I
Smith,
mean, I
yeah.
feel like you keep him, right?
I mean, that seems to be the thing. The
With
locker room.
he broke records that Russell Wilson set. Like he had more. I think he had the most passing yards out of any quarterback on the Seahawks this year.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I think it over 4,102, 1,200, or excuse me, 4,100 and something like that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I just how could you not? I mean, like I said, I don't know.
yeah, I'm kind of for that. I can also see the argument of, he's not necessarily the most youthful, but at this point, if he knows the playbook, kind of like how we were alluding to with Brock Purdy. If he
Hmm.
understands that, he just broke the record. He's got a pretty strong connection with this locker room. A lot of people with these guys, a lot of these guys, they've been tweeting or just like saying just all around all year. They were. What was the first primetime game when he says, they wrote me off, I didn't
Yeah.
write back." Everyone was fucking blowing up because of that one. So they love that shit. They love that attitude, and it shows why. I mean, I can sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a world beater by any means. I wouldn't be the most excited, but again, I can also see, like, yeah, until you
Why?
find
Like,
something
yeah.
better, you gotta run with Geno. It's kind of exactly that. I don't know, unless you find the next Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or something like that.
Arch
Which
Manning.
oh, little Archie, yeah, little Archie's coming in soon.
He
Until
hasn't
you
even played
see,
college yet.
yeah, until you see the clear cut number one type guy. I don't think that Seattle is going to be jumping or making any moves like that. I mean, I think maybe one more year they're gonna have to pay him a little bit. I think this was a contract year, so get on that. It's not gonna be cheap now with that. Do you have any
No.
final thoughts on the Seattle San Fran game?
It was a good game at first. Again, it was the first half was good. The Seahawks were keeping it close, but the 49ers just started to fuck them up in the second half, and it's what we expected anyway, kind of. So,
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, I think last week it was one of those where I'm not excited to take these big spreads, but if I'm going to, I'm okay with a San Francisco big spread like that. And sure enough, hold your nose, and they went ahead and just won it outright,
yeah.
41 to 23, I believe was the final.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, they whooped their
Yeah. So big one
ass.
right there. So yeah, I think this is about that time we get in the big one. We get into the big comeback. I mean, this was the year of the comebacks, one of the bigger ones.
Yeah,
NFL writers must have
honestly.
loved this one. And still undefeated on Saturday is Trevor Lawrence. If I was good at Photoshop in any sort of degree, I would put Trevor Lawrence's head on Undertaker's body and put whatever like record he has on Saturday on like a giant tombstone. So that would be my thing. I'm sure somebody else has already done that, but Jags haven't lost since they put up that AEW picture with Trevor Lawrence hanging out with all the AEW girls. I think it was what, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter,
Yeah, Jade
Sahara,
Cargill,
Jade Cargill, and
and
Tony Storm. Okay, that's who it
yeah,
was. I mean, that's just all the right things. Everything's perking up in the Jags direction. Besides the first half, obviously, but I mean, this is exactly that. This was such an amazing fucking game. Getting to the actual game itself, just what I'll just ask you off the bat. Do you blame the Chargers for falling apart, or do you just commend the Jags for just staying in there mentally? What are you leaning towards? What do you?
I I mean that's a complete. I would say I don't know. It's like a little bit of both, kind of. I would have to
Yeah,
like. I mean, it's a complete collapse, but it's also the Jags not giving up because I mean they were down by so much. 4 interceptions in the first half. I mean I mean, you should be able to win at any game like that. But I mean, at Derwin James after the game, the post game when they're talking in the locker room, he's literally crying. I ain't never this never happened to me in like 24 years of playing football. I
Yeah,
was like,
that
oh
was the
my.
quote. Yeah, that was brutal.
And yeah, it just sucks. And Joey Bosa getting upset on the sidelines and stuff, getting frustrated.
Yeah, no,
It's
definitely.
they just completely, I mean, they completely blew it and let the Jags come back. And I mean, props to them and Trevor Lawrence for doing it. I mean, that was insane. It's me and Alan were watching the game, and we were kind of just saying like, they could still come back at halftime. It's never over. And
Yeah, that
it's
touchdown at the end of the half was humongous.
yeah, that's when exactly I was like, they could still come back. And sure enough, I mean, football has been crazy, and I mean, these are the kind of games we live for as fans. It's just awesome.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was as much as I'm kind of in that same boat. I wanna like commend Doug Peterson. He absolutely just outcoached Staley. At least for however amount of time. But I gotta ask. I know it's kind of hard to ask where was Austin Eckler considering he scored twice,
Mhm.
but it happened in the first quarter, and then it happened at the beginning of the second quarter. So essentially, it all happened in the first quarter. But that's just me calling balls and strikes. Where was the run game? Where was anything? And beyond that, you only threw to him. You targeted him 4 times and he only caught it twice for 8 yards. You didn't utilize your superstar, and that's kind of it maybe was maybe a theme with this, and then going into Sunday's games, it was kind of like, where are these? Where are the superstars? Where are the guys that's supposed to be scoring touchdowns and shit? Just Austin Eckler, like his yardage, his usage was nowhere to be found. 13 rushing attempts, and for 35 yards, he gets 2 scores, but it's just, I believe they only ran the ball 7 times in the second half for a net gain of 7 yards. That's
Oh
not
my
good. That's
God.
that's how you lose 20. If that's like, oh, how did they lose this game? That was that. They didn't run the ball. And if you can't run the ball when you have such a huge lead, when this team like the Jags are super hungry, stay there mentally. I mean, they have a ton of weapons, so this was going to be no cakewalk. I mean, no, everyone was ready to go. In my mind, like I said, if you're going to go to Austin, you go to Austin Eckler over
I mean,
anyone else on that team.
that's what they've been doing all year. I
Yeah,
mean, how many times they check down to Austin Eckler every single game, and
yeah,
he's getting all these yards. And I mean, that's why he's so valuable in fantasy, because he's getting like
absolutely.
10 plus receptions every single game.
I
And
mean, we saw week 16, he broke off a 70-yard rush. Like, if you give him opportunities, he can do it. Yes, the yardage looks a little brutal, but if you give him space, he'll actually do it. There was a ton of injuries on the offensive line. And then after that, there's just you're not going to even try maybe with switch it up and go with Joshua Kelly like they usually do. It's just this run game, the lack of utilization of the run game is definitely what phoned it in uh for the Chargers, and that's why beyond the effort from the Jags, who didn't punt in the second half, I believe it was, and they actually
crazy.
didn't mass any turnovers. They gave up the ball 5 times, didn't get the ball back, but just stayed consistent. Had an 80-yard drive, a 70-yard drive, an 80-yard drive, all end in scores, and sure enough, they were able to get the win. And they deserve it all more. Like I said, if you're gonna go to if Gerald Everett, if he's going to be your feature guy, no fault on him. But if he's going to be your feature guy, six for like 100 and something odd yards and a touchdown, I don't think that's going to get it done. And there's going to be a ton of firings and all that if there hasn't already been in the Chargers management. Some are arguing that that might not happen just because they're so cheap. But yeah, this is just beyond insane. And then everyone else is also arguing that like just to go for the field goal and then to miss it in general, just to miss it overall, bad move to even go for the field goal. Like it was a 2 point, it was a 2 score lead. And then with the field goal, it still is only a 2 score lead. Like, what do you need to go for that field? You need to go for that touchdown and make it this a way bigger, just insurmountable lead. And like I said, it's wasted breath at this point to worry about that. But just to
Hmm.
see all these people be so conservative in these situations, and then on the flip side, uh, Doug Peter Doug Peterson making probably the greatest fourth down call at least maybe just recency bias. Probably the greatest fourth down call of all time with that run outside, making it look like Trevor Lawrence is just going to
Yeah.
jump over the line, and there goes Travis Etienne for 25 yards to the outside. Bang, boom, line up for the field goal. You're done. That's it. That's all she wrote.
And the Trevor Lawrence jumping over the pile for the touchdown too, and
Yeah,
that was so greasy.
that's
Like
the
I was
benefit of
telling,
being 6'6", man. It's
yeah, the
pretty
way
good.
he was able to just grip that ball with his hand and like just it was great. Like I was like that ball just slipped out of my hand. Like he
I mean,
just
not to jump ahead, but I mean, sure enough, it's what happens when a 5'11" guy on the Ravens, i.e., tries to jump over the line, and what happens when a 6'6" guy jumps over the line. You get different outcomes.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's crazy how much control he had. Like, and
yeah,
he just jumped over so easily. Like
absolutely.
it
Yeah,
was
so
awesome.
yeah, just looking at it again, like I said, the Chargers have a ton to look back and look forward to. I feel bad just because I mean
Yeah,
I like Austin Eckler as one of my just I've had him 2 years straight in fantasy, so just a little bias right there. That but like Keenan Allen deserves a little bit better. Everyone and again, just I don't really know the debate of
Justin Herbert,
yeah,
can he win the
exactly.
big
That's
games?
exactly what I was
Only
just about to
one
say.
touchdown thrown. I mean, we don't hate to say it because he's great and all, but I don't know.
No, that's the debate. That was what everyone's kind of opening up now is just whether or not he's actually all that he's cracked up to be. It's just what you just alluded to. Is he clutch enough? And is he just able to make the plays? And sure enough, from this game, didn't look like it. And a lot of people are just saying from the primetime games from earlier this season or just a bunch of other opportunities that he had throughout the year. Wasn't able to clutch up, wasn't able to show up and just put up points. That's simply all they needed to do. If you put up one more touchdown in that second half besides that other field goal that you had, you win that game. So it's
Hmm.
it's it's going to be a big conundrum. Definitely going to throw that up for debate for another time and so on and so forth. But yeah, just for the Jags. I mean, this might be excuse me. This might be one of those games I don't know, not necessarily. They got their work cracked out for them. If they're gonna go ahead and beat the Chiefs, they're gonna have to go up against either the Bengals or the Bills after that. So
Oh.
this may have been their Super Bowl right there. However, looking in the future, you got a young Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, going to be a third year next year. You got a slew of these guys, and again, I including myself from when we were doing the Degenerates podcast, just we were like, "What are you doing? Signing Christian Kirk to this such big money? Evan
Yeah.
Ingram, he's a dog, he's a bum. What are you doing?" And sure enough, they just shit in all of our faces. Uh, Definitely earning
Yeah.
their contract, earning their money.
Evan
Yeah,
Ingram, Tay Jones, and Christian Kirk, who all, yeah,
yeah, bunch
I
of
think all of
homegrown
us
talent on
were
the
like,
defense.
we all were like, these guys, why are they giving these guys all this money? Like, we are
Yeah,
like, this is a joke. And they all had great seasons. And they signed who's the guy that was gambling?
they just got Kelvin Ridley. He's got him on
Yeah.
layaway. The guy's
Yeah, so
Kelvin Ridley.
he's gonna be back next season on the Jags too. So I mean, we all know he was good when he was on the Falcons. So
Yeah,
I mean, they're gonna have a stacked offense, honestly.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's sure I'm not they don't have like big holes on the defensive side, of course. I mean, we're
No,
talking like we're talking like they're already eliminated just because they're playing the Chiefs next week. But I mean,
I mean
they're
that's
gonna
a
have a
tough
bright
game,
future. It's gonna be a tough game for sure.
but
Yeah,
you never know, man. I
yeah,
never like to count a team out. I mean, the Ravens almost beat the Bengals with Tyler Huntley's
that's very
playing.
true.
So
That's very true. I
And
mean,
I
the only
and I
thing,
mean we haven't talked about it yet, but the Dolphins almost won with
yeah,
Skylar Thompson
yeah,
playing. So I
absolutely.
mean, no, anything can happen.
Yeah, no. Just Andy Reid is really good coming off of bye weeks, so just that's also one to just consider. I mean, they get a little bit of a break. They got a big 9-point spread. I don't know if they're gonna cover necessarily. We'll maybe think about that
Mm.
on the flip side, Bet Rivers. But you can just go ahead and I mean, really consider all that things. I mean, like I said, just all things considered, the Jags gonna have a bright future. They're looking good. Trevor Lawrence finally has uh fucking a good actually a rookie year I would consider. Urban Meyer wasn't there to hijack it, so there you go. You get a
Hmm.
good comparable head coach in Doug Peterson, who's been there, done that, won a Super Bowl within the last 10 years, within the last 5 years actually. So good on them. Their future is bright.
Yeah,
If you're
Trevor
good
Lawrence
on,
is looking like one of those number one picks that is
yeah.
actually gonna pan out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, I was counting. I didn't want to tweet anything, so I'm glad I didn't off the account. I was being like, oh, glad we got Fields. This Trevor Lawrence guy's looking like a bum and shit like that. If that was even the same, I don't even think that was the same. I think it didn't. I don't even remember.
Justin Fields is up there with him. It's Florence, and
Yeah,
then obviously we know Fields is in second, is number two. But everyone else
yeah,
and Zach Wilson's trash, and Mac Jones is and
yeah. I was just thinking like that. I'm just, yeah, glad I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't know this. He only threw like 9 interceptions this season. One of the biggest differentials from throwing so many in his rookie year to so little in his next
who
season. So
Fields?
no, Trevor Lawrence. Excuse
Oh,
me if I didn't make that clear.
okay, no,
He
I was
a huge I don't know the name of the stat would be a big
like the point.
interception regression, I suppose is what it would
Okay,
be. So the most positive in that. So that was pretty good for
that's
him.
good.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
to
that's
have 4 of them in the first half, and I think like I said, I think I did already mention it. Yeah, the Chargers turned the ball over 5 times and lost the game. It just or they get turnover. They
yeah. I
forced
get what you. I mean, I know
turnovers,
what you meant.
forced
Yeah,
5 turnovers and lost the game. I don't think that's happened in NFL history. So that's a tough
yeah.
one indeed. So yeah, if I was Derwin James, that would be
Chargers gonna Charger.
yeah, and I do like that picture of the win expectancy looking like a charger bolt. If you saw that
Oh,
picture,
really?
yeah, a little again a
Oh,
tough look, tough one. The internet
that's funny.
reigns supreme once again on that one. If you're good on those games, we can go ahead and transition into the Sunday games. How's that
Yeah,
sound?
yeah, let's
Yeah.
hit it.
Yeah, we were talking about you talked about it a couple seconds ago with Skylar Thompson in Miami, but just really quick, I don't know if you saw, of course, it's not brand new news or anything like that, just something that came up on my feed a little bit later. Isaiah McKenzie being one of the wide receivers on the Buffalo Bills. Not of course not the big name like Stephon Diggs or whatever. Still able to be charitable on Christmas. Had a big awesome Christmas gift to his boys in the wide receiver room. I know, like, of course, it's not. I don't remember everyone else's gift. Everyone always does that around the holiday times. This is a couple weeks ago now.
Hmm.
So, but just I thought this one was awesome. He gave everyone personalized arcade machines with their
Oh,
names.
yeah, I saw that.
Okay, cool. So you saw with the names up on top of
Yeah.
it, nice looking design. Like I said, it's got their number on the front end of it. It had like I think he said over 1,600 games on it.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say, yeah, it was like modded to have a bunch of different games on there and stuff. So that's
yeah,
so
so he
cool. Like
went
that's
all
so cool.
out. I mean, yeah, in terms of just maybe again, I don't know any other examples of what other people do. I know other teams usually drop like, oh, this was this year's Secret Santa. It's always like $1,000 plus limit of either getting shoes or getting money straight up sometimes or uh, jewelry and shit. But I think this one definitely takes the cake as both you and I are big video game guys. That would be a fucking big dream come true. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that
I'm
would
gonna
be
run out of
awesome.
shoes in a minute. I'm not gonna fucking run through this arcade machine anytime soon. So I mean that to me would have won Christmas in my
Oh,
book.
that would have been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I had maybe some big stat or something cool on him in particular in this game, but this one was weird. I mean, that one was just a word that was weird, sloppy, a lot of turnovers, a lot of weird. Just I don't know. As I thought it was supposed to be chalk, and it kind of was going in the first quarter. Skylar Thompson doing some rookie things, struggling a little bit, but it's Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill dropping a lot of dropping 3 passes between the two of them that just straight up hit them both either in the chest or the hands. So tough break on that one. If they could just, sure enough, if they could just clean it up in the slightest, it'd be beneficial. Sure enough, they come roaring back in the second, able to tie it up for a short amount of time. Just the mistakes by the Bills cost them. Josh Allen had 2 interceptions and
Yeah.
a fumble loss to finish the game. I mean, he made up for it by throwing 3 touchdowns, but it was tied for a short time. They went down the field, almost scored a touchdown, but they went ahead and finished with 20-17 in this first half. Third opens, and as soon as they do, the Dolphins took that lead on. Again, that was the fumble recovery. Scores a touchdown. They go up 24-20. That was at that point in time. I was like, this doesn't feel real. This is weird. This game is so weird. This game is getting out of hand. you would think again with this QB matchup, they shouldn't even be close, but not even close. Not getting that, not getting those big, humongous plays. Were like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, but they were getting the first downs. They were doing exactly what they needed to do. So I mean, I guess that would be the equivalent in this game. The big Bills just continue to make mistakes, let them keep into this game, and continued into the fourth. And the Bills, hold them down for a little bit. I'm just trying to keep up in my notes right now. Similar to the events that happened in the Giants and Vikings game, I kind of want to just throw out there like, how do you justify throwing it to Mike Gesicki and fourth and 8 it was, or something like that, when you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to throw down there? And I know it's tough to say like, would we have won this game with two or something like that or anything like that? It's a tough luck, but I think just the biggest, like, I don't know, like to dunk on you, to really rub the salt in the wound idea is like, why Mike Gesicki? Why to him? I don't know. Maybe that's just that. Even in that mind, I don't know. Throw in Jeff Wilson Jr. I feel like that would be a better scenario. Maybe I'm just being a little too harsh on that guy, but I don't know. That to me seems like it should have been to anybody else. If you're gonna fail, just throw it fucking deep and maybe be an arm punt at the least. But even then, it still wasn't over. The Bills had to convert, and the line judge gave them the first. I don't know if you saw it or not, but
I did not, and that's what my dad was texting me like, "Did you see that? Like, did they get the first?" Like, I didn't see it. I didn't even see any
yeah,
footage anywhere on social media. But
it was a tough one to decipher on the field. When I was watching it live, I was the same thing. I was like, oh, they're short. They're giving it to them. All right, maybe. And then they go to the video, and I think it was just a matter of they couldn't see the ball. They just assumed that it went over the line.
yeah, and that's what the refs always do in those situations. If
Yeah,
they
and
can't see the
yeah,
ball, then
and the fact that they already gave them the first down on the field, it makes it harder for them to overturn. So
yeah,
this was very, like I said, very, just everything was up in the air, a lot of sloppy things. But I can't really say that it should have come down to that play in particular. There were multiple times where just time management was an issue for the Dolphins. A ton of other things. Excuse me, their turnovers on their end. Just overall sloppy play. Sloppy is the word that I would just describe in this game, even for both sides, just both sides in general. The play of the Bills was awful, and the Dolphins side just not keeping maintaining good clock management. I think they also said there was some substitution errors like that, and just not being able to do stuff like that, not knowing what down it was, the conversion, things like that. I think he said it was supposed to be first down. He sent his first down guys out there. Then it was told it was fourth down. So now he's got a conundrum of what to do. And then yeah, it's just I don't know. My final thoughts on the Dolphins. Just it's tough. It's gonna be tough living in the world of what if Tua was healthy. So maybe if you got any Dolphins friends like that, grab them by the hand and tell them it's gonna be okay, man. So I don't know. Um, yeah, that was basically that, man. Like I said, just sloppy was the word of the day on that one. Do you have any final thoughts on that game?
Dolphins fought, man.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely fought. There was
That's,
definitely a
I
lot to
mean,
get
it was,
into.
yeah, it came down to literally last play. So props to them. I mean, it's a lot of the teams fought except for the Bucks, but
Yeah, yeah, that seems to be the big, I don't know, the consensus online of just the damn Tampa Bay just didn't deserve to be there at all. Everybody else seemed to be fighting their way in, even the Vikings, I guess. And that's a good transition, I suppose, into this next game. The fraud Vikings coming in to their home place. But I mean, this was my hammer play. I think I said it last week. Everyone and their mother has been calling the Vikings frauds all year long.
yeah,
So from the point differential to just getting stomped out by divisional leaders, to their defense just allowing other teams to run track and field meetings
yeah,
and air shows all over them all day long. So why would we think that there was going to be all of a sudden there was going to be a different Vikings team that wasn't the exact same team for 18 straight weeks? I just don't know. So if you were a person, I know not talking to you, but just if you were a person that relied on, oh, the Vikings won the last time that they played the Giants, if you relied on that type of advice, you deserve to lose. Then you weren't looking into anything at all. The Giants were just far hungrier than the Vikings were in all aspects. Justin Jefferson was locked down by this defense. This defense was just ready to go. The play calling by Brian Dable was phenomenal. And I mean, shout out to Daniel Jones, who just looked like Lamar Jackson / Michael Vick in this performance, running around, completing passes, not turning the ball over, which was great. I mean, I think he rushed for 70 yards more than
Wow.
that was more than anybody else on the team, more than Saquon Barkley, who he looked explosive. He looked amazing. He had that 28-yard rushing touchdown. He just
Hmm.
looked explosive, ready to go. That 1 week break, that little week 18 was served wonders for him. It looks like so. Being able to find the holes, exploiting it every time Minnesota had just the slightest hint of space, he was gone. And it was nice to see, along with McCaffrey on Saturday. It was nice to see Saquon playing meaningful football. I went ahead and tweeted that out on Saturday when the McCaffrey game was happening. Just on the flip side, seeing Delvin Cook struggle, that's just been happening all season long. I think the broadcaster, whoever it was, it's whatever his name is, it's slipping my name at the top right now, but he described him best as a power hitter in baseball. He's either cranking a 500-foot home run, he's either having an 80-yard touchdown, or he's striking out of his shoes. He's just getting a negative yard gain. And apparently, to the savants who follow advanced stats and stat metrics, he led. What would the right words be? I struggle with this. He gave up negative 200 yards this year. He was hit the most
Wow.
in the backfield. He had given the most attempts for negative yards. That would be the way that you say that, costing his team over 200 yards of offense. Not good.
No.
So not good in the slightest. I don't want to make that claim of let's take him out back behind the barn and call it a
Oh
day,
my
but
God.
running backs are expendable. I don't think he's completely useless. He's served, like you just said, you can still hit that 500-foot home run like that, like the broadcaster said. I just don't think the title of elite Delvin is there anymore. So maybe the Vikings got to look elsewhere. Doesn't look too good that Alexander Madison is also on some sort of contract decision, but yeah, just any final thoughts on this game in general besides just frauds, frauds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're frauds, and we've all been saying it. I've certainly been saying it. That they're just, yeah, I was expecting this to happen, and the Giants played a very great game, and Brian DeBoer has been a great coach for
Coach of the
them.
year, without a
Yeah,
doubt. Coach of the year. He made all the right decisions in this game. I love that little Statue of Liberty play to Matt Breida, I believe it was, faking it to Kenny Galladay.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
really cool.
executed it. And again, people were putting the side by side with him and Josh Allen doing the same similar play. Daniel Jones, I think, may have executed it better than Josh Allen did. I'll argue that till the cows come home. Uh, so I
Yeah,
mean,
Daniel Jones really has come into his own, and I'm not
it's
talking shit about
oh
him
no.
anymore.
Yeah, no, I was definitely on the verge, maybe probably earlier in the year, or I may have not even given the Giants a chance this year. I would have to go back and listen to the receipts, listen to the past episodes, but I don't recall giving them any sort of hope, any sort of light. I said if 7 games might be it, and then it was, sure enough, is right around there. But being in this role that they are, winning the way that they are, just I guess it's just what would it be? Just what coaching can do for a quarterback, and just how different this personnel is. Just it goes from Daniel Jones looking like a bum, being out of the league, to damn, you might have to sign him for the next couple of years. Right now, he's going to be looking good. He's gonna be a solid little player. So
Yeah,
good job on them. I know they're gonna have to. I think, who are they going to be playing? They're not playing. They're playing Philadelphia
they're
next
playing
week.
Philly. Yeah,
It's gonna be a tough one. Gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be interesting to see how they everyone. I think the Giants, if we preview that necessarily, the Giants are gonna have to be perfect. Giants are gonna have to be absolutely perfect to take down the Eagles, who've just been they get a break. Jalen Hurts looking a little banged up. If he's not 100%, they might be able to sneak in there and stay in there, because their B team was in there last on week 18, but I think I think the Eagles might be poised to just put them away, but I wouldn't. I definitely see the Giants not going down without a fight in that next game. So this looked good. Minnesota, again, just last words, just their defense is bad. And it was that. It was really that. Nothing that Kirk Cousins did to fuck up the game other than if you're going to harp on him for throwing a check down to TJ Hawkinson on your last play of the year. But I mean, I don't know. It was just really the defense that really just blew that one up. They just, I don't know. Again, a mixture of that and probably just the Giants were hungrier, definitely hungrier. Any final thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, go. I'm rooting for the Giants, man.
There
I
you go.
always like those underdog teams. So
Hell yeah.
fuck the
Hell
Vikings.
yeah. Yeah, just glad to see there was a four-way tie for the NFC North for the same amount of wins throughout the playoffs this year. So feels good as a Bears guy, Bears guy like myself to see, no one in the NFC North did anything. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. On to the night game, Baltimore, Cincinnati. This was kind of a little bit of a snooze fest to the point where we were enjoying our Critics' Choice Awards. Listen to the nominations and the acceptance speeches. How about that? Just them. I'll go ahead and relay what Seth Rogen said because these award shows don't get much viewership. Why were they running like two awards at once? What was going on? Like I said, they short for time, and then they'll let
Yeah,
the other guys just talk for hours and hours and hours because they won best visual effects. Like it's just whoa, what are you doing?
and they're
Uh,
talking shit about the network they were on.
yeah,
It's
he's
like
like
no
we're on
one
the
watches
CW, dude.
this network. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I know they could have just thrown their own network a bone and put them up for literally anything. Yeah, that's a pretty good joke. It's just really refreshing when a comedian, someone funny, is at these award shows and is allowed to be funny. So that's just like a big breath of fresh air. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
We were
always
talking
so
about
serious all the
yeah,
time.
we were talking about this on the Golden Globes, just how bad that performance was from start to finish. So that was
Oh,
yeah. Either way, like I said, getting it on a tangent here, but the snooze fest that was basically Baltimore versus Cincinnati up until really with one of the last plays of the game or in the beginning of the fourth. Uh, really just a lull you to sleep type game, low scoring, missed some kicks here and there. Just not so good offensive execution. I believe Joe Burrow just didn't have that good of a game. Just expected a lot more from the Bengals being just heavy favorites. But apparently, Harbaugh, I don't know how to say the last name.
Harbaugh, I think.
Yeah, Harbaugh. There we go. Thank you. Apparently, he leads the NFL all time in road playoff wins. Up until this game, he was 8-0, which I actually didn't know.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a pretty good stat. So he's I would say he's kind of cut that down to a science. They actually outgained the Bengals by like 120 yards, and they lost. They've done this four times. Excuse me. In the four games that they've outgained their opponent, they're 1-3 or something like that now. So it's just tough break for the Ravens. They're absolutely just balling out, and just somehow, some way, they not able to pull it out. Yeah, just tough to beat a team that just back to back. Tough to beat them back to back weeks. They just got done playing them in week 18. That just doesn't happen ever in the NFL, really. I don't really remember the last time. So this was just a rock fight. Came down to really one play, and Sam Hubbard already wins right place, right time of the year award, and it's only January 17th as we're recording. So he proceeded to just
Yeah,
catch
that
it.
was crazy.
Yeah, catch it, run all the way down the field. Just really cool to see and cool to hear after the fact that he was a homegrown kid from Ohio, so he's been around these parts before, just essentially winning a big game for your hometown team. It feels awesome. Just awesome to hear that, and just yeah, I'm sure he's feeling good and feeling the high of that, but of course the big picture is winning the Super Bowl. So I'm sure his attitude is where it's supposed to be. Celebrate for today, and then of course banking for tomorrow. I'm only assuming, of course, but again, just a little bit of a sloppy play in this game. That would also describe it as well. Another one, a big what if. The what if Lamar played? The what if Lamar did this? I don't know. A lot of people are throwing that around like that would have been just the solution, but he hasn't played in 4 or 5 weeks now. He's probably wouldn't even be 100% then. And even if he is, like, does he just slide right in and he's just automatically amazing after not being in the
Yeah.
groove for him over a month? I don't. It's hard to. it's hard to just accept the fact that that would just be exactly that. I mean, I think it was just a down game from the Bengals. Their defense was able to bail them out for the most part. And into further notice, maybe Joe Burrow's gonna have to get something going because T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, you got those guys right there. Tyler Boyd's a nice little compliment, and then I just really didn't feel like I heard Joe Mixon's name a lot during that game at all. So
Mhm.
offense was on the downtrend. A nice little flip for the defense. And even then, even if they do convert that at that time, it's still tied. So the Bengals can go down, score. It can still be going back and forth at that point in time. So I understand that that play was huge. There's a huge 14-point swing during that time and place, but still a huge opportunity. I'm sure. I think the game almost ended on a tipped touchdown into the end zone. So again, the Ravens had tons of opportunity in this game to sit there and say, "What if Lamar played?" Kind of ignorant quote from J.K. Dobbins saying like Lamar, if what if Lamar plays
Yeah,
again?
I saw that.
Like, bro, you gotta give your tip your hat to the guy that actually did something. Like, I know T.J. Huntley might not be sticking around for the long run, he might not be your guy, but fuck, like you just gotta be a little bit respectful in any sort of sense. And I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
like
Dobbins did anything special either. So I don't know.
we
It's just
win that game.
yeah, exactly. It's a tough look. Definitely a tough one. So I guess again, just the Ravens might have to sit down, talk turkey, and get Lamar Jackson figured out.
Mhm.
Get some guaranteed money. I
They
think that's
already gave all of that to Bobby or
Roquan.
Bobby.
Yeah,
Yeah, Roquan.
that was also the good one. Is Lamar Jackson looking for the money, but he's Walter White underneath the house. He's it's Skyler on the top. I gave all the money to Roquan Smith. And they're like, no, he's just freaking out
He's
on the
just
floor.
laughing
Yeah.
maniacally.
Yeah, just laughing hysterically. I mean, yeah, kind of just thinking about that again. I didn't know that Roquan was, of course, congratulations to him. He was representing himself, so none of those greedy little guys are gonna get some the managers or whatever the fuck representatives are gonna get the money for that. So good for
Yeah, he
him. He's gonna
doesn't
get
have an
all of that.
agent.
Agent is the word. Yes, thank you. But I mean, he was a little bit of well, he was during the Week 18 game. I guess Jamar Chase kind of pointed out that he was doing some extracurricular activity, and of course, we heard earlier this year about his interaction with a 15-year-old when he was some like 17 or 18 years old. So I'm not gonna sit here and say nothing about nothing, but
The fuck?
distractions were coming up about this guy, and I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna be happy that he's not on the team for the sake of his talent, but if he's got some extracurriculars going on outside of the field, we're just glad those distractions are gone. So good for you, good Roquan getting that
Wow.
money and whatever. But we'll see how that goes. Were you good on this Baltimore Cincinnati game?
Yeah, I think you covered basically everything.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a little light on these Dallas and Tampa Bay notes, but I mean
It's
this game was a
nothing.
little bit of a snoozer.
Yeah.
Not really much to get into. Great game for Dak Prescott. Four passing touchdowns, one rushing on the ground. I mean, more or less I guess the big thing to get into was just the the press conference afterward with Tom Brady saying thank you, thanks for being so nice and that this and that and the other, and like just being gratitude, just being showing his gratitude and whatever. I just love how him saying thank you immediately was like translated into he's retiring. He's not nice.
Yeah.
He's just doing this now because he's done. Like, it's just like that was just such like a in my mind. It's like damn, fucking media is a little cynical like that, but I don't know. I think that was just a thank you to the Tampa Bay media and a hello to the Las Vegas media when he goes to the Raiders and he's throwing touchdowns to Davante Adams, baby. That's just where I think he's gonna go. But I don't think he's retiring. That doesn't sound like anything. Everyone's gonna be uh bitching and moaning because he threw an interception in the red zone. He doesn't do
Uh-huh.
that. Well, if you listen to the press conference, he said it was a miscommunication. He said Chris Godwin was supposed to go that way, flick him to the other side, and he just didn't go to the other side, and he threw it already, and bada boom, interception. So I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, he didn't have enough arm strength to get it out of the back of the end zone.
What?
No, again, he wasn't aiming for the back of the end zone. He was aiming, he got the ball where he needed to. And some people were kind of just maybe just thinking about that too. It's he's got the arm, he's got the everything. It's just maybe he doesn't want to get hit. His offensive line basically needs to keep him up right as a statue to have any sort of chance of winning. But I mean, no one really looked like they were ready to win besides Rashard White. Rashard White was the only one that wanted to go. Leonard Fournette just a non-factor.
Yeah,
Uh,
wearing all that playoff Lenny
yeah,
stuff before the
exactly.
game, and then he
Yeah,
gets like 11 yards.
yeah, like what a bum. And I mean, it might, of course, the tough look. Mike Evans drops a touchdown. Chris Godwin did everything. I think caught like 10 passes for 85 yards. Just I don't know. They were the least ranked in rushing all year. You kind of maybe the writing was going to be on the wall for that. Micah Parsons and the defense, while they weren't having the best second half of the season, they showed up this game and basically just shut everyone down and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of questioning, and I don't want to sit here and speculate and take up all the time of, well, what's Tom Brady gonna do? It's just I kind of don't care, and it's like because it just doesn't affect the Bears as of right now. There's no way is Tom Brady going to be involved in there, and I mean
Yeah,
even on your end, he's not going to be coming to Green Bay anytime
no,
soon.
I'm
So
not. I'm not worried about him.
yeah, exactly. It's just it's is he going to hold Tampa Bay hostage again with the whole I might retire, I might
Oh,
do this, or is he going to go, or is he just going to actually be I don't know, be subtle and do the right thing and maybe say like, hey, I'm going to go to this team or something like that. I'm not retiring. I'm doing this. So
mhm.
a lot of things are up in the air, but damn, that Monday night game was just putrid, just everything bad. What it just I guess summed up is just when you get all those good games, all those really tight, close games to come back, you're just due for a really shit game, and sure enough, that's what we got Monday night. Uh, Last thing on that one, I guess, would be Brett Maher. Missing four missed excuse me, missing four extra points. Words are hard. Uh, I mean, just this idea of let's cut him if being thrown around. It's idiotic for the sense of he's had a great season. Signing someone this late right now is just again ridiculous. Like who you just gonna get Johnny off the street to come kick field goals for you in the playoffs? It's a tough one. So it was really bad just watching this guy get his yips live in front of everybody. He does finish with one made one, so that's good on him. But in my mind, everyone's kind of like just between listening to the ESPN radio today, listening to the podcast that I watch, and just hearing it on whatever other TV shows that I was watching, like Undisputed and other shit like that. Just like, oh, what do we do? Do we sign this guy? Do we cut him? I don't think that should be your focus. I think your focus should be let's just try and score in general on the San Francisco 49ers defense instead of like, hey, let's make some field goals this year. No, dude, that shouldn't be your main issue. Like being able to get into scoring position at all on the San Francisco 49ers defense. It should just be the main thought. And Jerry Jones has already said like I'm not looking for a new kicker. So that's not like our,
Yeah, I
our main
saw that.
focus. So yeah, just everyone blowing this out of proportion, like, oh, cut him, he's done. No, it's just idiotic. You're not thinking, you don't have your head on straight. So just that was
Yeah.
just my mind on that. Anything lasting lingering on this Tampa Bay Dallas game?
Um, no, not really.
Yeah, I guess like we said earlier, this was just one of those teams that limped into the playoffs. The writing was on the wall. They didn't really have a good season all year. I guess kind of what I said with the Vikings, like why all of a sudden would they just flip a switch and be such a great, phenomenal world beater
Yeah.
team? And I mean, maybe a little bit of hope was made when Julio Jones caught that 30 yarder. Like, all right, maybe. I think maybe if they scored that 2 point conversion, a lot of people would have been hammering them live. But I, I don't know. Todd Bowles is not a good head coach. He's a good defensive coordinator, not a good head coach. Showed that again, showed that here, showed that in New York. Just doesn't seem to be the guy that can lead the team. And yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. Again, people are gonna have to think about that and linger around that. That's just gonna be a big what if to come and shit like that. So if you're good on that, let's see. We can blow through, preview some quick games real quick. How's that sound? Just for the
Yeah.
yeah, good for the sake of time. I'm just gonna
Tom
read
Brady
off.
no longer undefeated
Yeah,
against the Cowboys.
there you go. That definitely was the stay. Yeah, 7-1 now against the Cowboys, or at least in the postseason. Let me see. Oh yeah, I believe the line opened at 9, but right now we're looking at 8.5 for the Kansas City Chiefs over the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, like I kind of said earlier, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to give it their all absolutely this game, but last week was for sure their like big Super Bowl comeback. I wouldn't put it past them like you just said. Let put their tombstone in the ground already, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. Chiefs are going to
Yeah.
run. The Chiefs are going to do everything right. They have, you know, Kelsey, even Velda Scantling looks good. Juju, Kadarius Toney looks nice now. Isaiah Pacheco isn't a bad rushing option, and you just got another wide receiver in Jerick McKinnon sitting in the backfield as well. So on that is if everyone's hitting, ready to go on that. I mean, as long as they keep it up, maintain it, and the Chiefs defense just keeps it respectable, then it really shouldn't be that big of an issue. They're at home. The Chiefs always have a big home presence, and 3:30 afternoon games, so it shouldn't really matter either way. As long as the weather is ridiculous, this should be basically in the bag for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm looking at it. It's a very high over under 53, so I might not really be touching that, but might be one of those things where I either hold my nose and take the 8.5, or I'll probably end up parlaying the Kansas City Chiefs with the Eagles. That comes out to
Mm.
minus 165. Maybe I'll throw in somebody else just in case, something like that. Maybe San Fran and make it a nice plus 145. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. Plus 145 for a 3 leg right there. Any thoughts on Jags Kansas City? Anything I didn't really pull up?
No, I mean, yeah, like you were saying, the Chiefs are just the most dominant team probably in the league, so it's going to be a tough game for the Jags. But I mean, they just beat the Chargers, who are also a very good team, not as good as the Chiefs, but we'll just have to see what happens. They're going to
Yeah.
have to keep it close somehow because the Chiefs are going to just keep scoring.
Yeah, this will be a fun little coaching matchup between Doug Peterson and Andy Reid. It's just going to be a battle of wits there for sure. And a guy like again, having Doug Peterson there with a very confident Trevor Lawrence and everybody else is on that game. I mean, it's just that idea, that mentality of, hey, I threw 4 interceptions. I don't care if I throw a next one. And sure enough, he didn't. He was fine. Trevor Lawrence had a nice little game from there on out. So just knowing where you are mentally, just that seems to be good. You got some talent on both ends, of course, and it's just going to be a matter of, is if the Kansas City Chiefs are on the downtrend, they're not hitting everything just right, maybe even turning the ball over, and the Jags are just about perfect, and we can be in for a ball game there. That'll be a nice little fun game. I got again no real skin in the game, but for the sake of just having our AEW bias, let's go Jags, go Jags. So I'll let that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go Jags.
got that dark horse there as well. This is also the Saturday game. We'll just stay right there in chronological order. Got the Giants, got the Eagles. Kind of made mention to this a little bit earlier that I think as long as the Eagles are looking, really healthy, and if Jalen Hurts is ready to go, then it should be, oh, I wouldn't say a cakewalk necessarily, but after the Giants had an absolute rock fight back and forth against the Vikings, I don't know if you saw Hodgins's ankle all blown up and swollen. He had a great game, but he might be feeling a little bit afterward on that one for sure. So the Giants definitely gave it their all in this Vikings game. They can definitely duplicate that same sort of outcome, but it's gonna be tough. Definitely gonna be tough against these Eagles. How do you see this one folding out?
I mean, yeah, we've seen how the Eagles have played all year. Again, just as good as the Chiefs, kind of, in some portion, sometimes. I mean, Jalen Hurts has looked amazing, and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have both been great, and the defense has been top notch. So it's just like the Chiefs and the Jags. The Giants are gonna need to fight and somehow keep it close with this team, and I'm sure they're more than capable of doing, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the underdogs right now. You got plus 310 out of the Jacksonville Jags, plus 280 out of the Giants,
Mm.
plus 185 out of the Bengals, and then plus 160 from the Cowboys. If I'm looking at these odds, I would maybe just lean towards the Giants at plus 280. I feel like, just like I said, I'm not. I'll put together the little fun little 3 leg parlay just to get a little plus money out of that one too. But just to, kind of hedge myself in some sort of way. I, if I'm looking at those, that screams at me like, yeah, take the flyer, take a chance on that one. I think if the Bills, and this might be a good transition into this preview. If the Bills keep it, actually make it not such a sloppy turnover slop fest on that end, and come out, hit Diggs for big yardage like they did and for scores. Dawson Knox can be complimentary in the red zone as well, and they can hit you with both Devin Singletary and James Cook. Uh, the Bengals are looking a little bit slow. I think they can maybe just take care of it. And then I'm kind of in that slew of the 49ers. You put anyone in front of them, they're just gonna roll right past them. So Giants at plus 280. Talk me off the ledge. Or just
I
fucking
like that.
that's not the worst.
I
Not the
like
worst.
it.
1-800 gambler if you got an issue. But if I like I said, bet Rivers if you want to go ahead and do that. Not the worst decision. Uh, yeah, just like I said, Bengals, Bills, like I just said earlier, if the Bills keep it nice and tidy, I think they can take care of the Bengals. But the Bengals kind of they still got a little gritty. There's still a little fight in them too. You got anything I missed on that one? What do you think on that game?
Nah, that should be a good one. The Bengals, I mean, they've been getting hot when it matters most. I mean, they've been playing very good football now, and the Bills are beatable. I
Yeah,
mean, we've seen it happen, and yeah, I mean, they almost lost last week, so it should be a good one. And as mean, it's pretty cool that, as you know, their game got canceled in the regular season, but now they're coming back. They're playing each other. Jamar Hamlin's all right,
that's cool.
and
Yeah.
now they're about to play off in this big playoff game against each other. So
Yeah,
it should be a good one.
glad you said that. I would have completely breezed over that, even though I heard that like 4 or 5 different times, and I was like, I'll make sure to say that. Just completely forgot about it. So thank you for remembering that. Yeah, this ought to be good. This is going to be a 2 p.m. start. Oh yeah, the Sunday games are weird when they do that. There's a
Yeah.
2 p.m. start and a 5:30, so won't even get to like late. It'll be like an 8:39 if you're in the Central Standard Time area.
hmm
Yeah, it'd be like a weird 9 p.m. ending time. Like, ugh, I'll still have to do stuff at night. Uh, yeah, that one, like I said, Bengals, Bills could still be entertaining. Maybe I'm counting them out, just going over that very quickly, like I am. But if they looked a little shaky against backup Lamar, then you're gonna have to pull out your
Yeah,
absolute
that's
A
true.
A
Yeah.
game against the Bills. Um, Last and final, the Sunday night or the Sunday afternoon or whatever, 5:30 game. Cowboys San Fran. I mean, not really much in my mind for the sake of just me being biased and having them winning on a future ticket. Just give me San Fran. Uh, I'm just convinced that their defense is all good. Of course, Dak Prescott can show up like he did and have a good game. But I think overall, this defense or just the team in general, just all around, as long as Brock Purdy, as long as this one isn't the big game where he turns into a pumpkin or whatever, this is uh this is gonna be it. Again, just maybe a little chalk for San Fran. Maybe I'm just got my rose colored glasses on or whatever, but this might be pretty good, pretty easy for San Francisco. Anything on that game.
No, I think the Cowboys will be able to keep it at least a little
Oh yeah,
close.
they'll keep it respectable. I don't think hopefully I'm just not saying that they're gonna be a runaway train on
No,
these
but
guys.
yeah, I don't know. It should be all these games are going to be great games. I mean, that's why it's the playoffs, so they should be, but I mean, yeah, that's the 49ers have been playing very well, but they still have a rookie quarterback playing. So that is always might be a problem when it comes to some big time situations, but he's proven himself so far. So,
Yeah,
and Dak Prescott, I mean, he's been playing great. So, where is it at? Is it in San Francisco?
it is in San Fran. Yeah, the
Okay.
the playoffs will go through either most likely it'll go through the Eagles if they end up doing that. But yeah, San Fran and Philadelphia get the home field on the NFC side. Um, yeah, really just on that. That's just Oh man. Ugh. Ugh. Let's see. San Fran. I'm sorry, I just had a big fucking brain fart
Well,
right
you're
there.
fine. I've been yawning too.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, I think yeah, San Fran probably gonna be easy peasy. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, now I remember. Now the train's back on the track. I was just gonna say that Brock Purdy, yeah, like you just said, rookie hasn't been there for all the opportunities necessarily, but through these games, you can go through just all the games that he started. He throws through some pretty tight windows. He's not afraid to just give these guys an opportunity to make a play.
Mhm.
And if you give it to George Kittle and good enough space, he can just run amok and score like he does. And boy, when Debo gets out and gets up there, he's just most likely gone from there on out. But I mean, I don't want to take anything away and look like an idiot. There's of course talent on the Cowboys side. CeeDee Lamb is no pushover, and guys like Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott in the right light can still do some great things. So if we get 5 touchdown Dak Prescott from last week, that'll be beneficial for the Cowboys. If you get leading the league in interceptions all year, Dak Prescott, that's when you
Mm.
get a little hairy. It's weird. He led the league in interceptions, didn't play for like a month. So
Wow.
yeah, kind of a weird one, kind of a
That's
little
not
anomaly.
good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of anomaly on that game on that stat. So that's cool. If you were good on just like I said, we were doing heavy football today. A lot of previewing, a lot of reviewing. So if you were good on that, any final comments on the games? We can just transition into some quick MLB, a little bit of MMA, and then wrestling to finish us off.
Yeah, no, it will be some great games, as I've been saying. It will be a great weekend of football, and it's almost over, so gotta enjoy it while they last.
Of course, yeah. Like I said, if you want to bet on any one of these games, hop on Bet Rivers. I'm gonna try and pull up the link again just so I don't botch it again on the first opportunity. So second opportunity now. Again, if you got a hankering for a play, you liked anything we mentioned or pull up just a couple minutes ago, bit.ly/no sub bets. No sub bets is all one word, of course. Yeah, just no sub bets. That's the slash after. Go ahead and do that. You get a free bet as long as it doesn't hit up to $500. Go ahead and do that. Got to be over 21. Got to be in Illinois and 1-800-GAMBLER if you got any issues with that. Without further ado, let's go ahead transition to MLB. We got actually, like I said, keeping up on the Cubs side and on the Sox side a little bit. Lucas Giolito signs for a $10 million deal just to avoid arbitration. So good job, White Sox. Didn't fuck up. So that's all we could want. And just giving my props, giving my acknowledgement to the Cubs. They still exist. They are a team. While I'm not the biggest Cub fan, of course, I'm not going to just completely shun them as much as I want to. But no, they went ahead, made another move, signing Trey Mancini. They went, people were like, oh, they're going to be done. They just got signed Eric Hosmer. They just did this. They got Dansby Swanson earlier this year. I believe Jamison Tyone, Brad Boxberger. They've been making some huge moves on the free agency market and just on this end so far. So yeah, this most recent one, Trey Mancini, recently just winning a World Series with the Houston Astros. Most likely going to be playing probably DH, maybe a little bit of first base from what I've heard. I'm really just relaying anything I heard on the radio. Like I said, I don't not going to be keeping up on the Cubs beat on the Cubs insider and shit like that. So good for him. Of course, he's a fan favorite. He recently was battling cancer. He was on the Baltimore Orioles. Comes back, has a
Yeah.
nice little season. Able to make the move, and I believe on an expiring contract year. Goes to the Astros, wins a ring. Whether he want to still call him the cheat stros or whatever, that's fine and whatever. But he's got his ring. He'll part his way. He'll come to Chicago and have some fun. And maybe put the power swing back into that bat that they're looking forward to. And like I said, most likely going to be a DH for them. So that's good on that. Any comment on that before I get into the last little two things on MLB?
The Cubs are really just, they've signed a lot of people this offseason,
Yeah.
so they're definitely trying to win right now. It should be fun to watch, even though I'm a Sox fan,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, if you're a Cub fan, of course, you're definitely feeling excited. You made some moves. You made some good moves. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh man, you guys are fucking World Series contenders right away." I'm going to be pulling it back just a little bit, saying, there's room for error. There's room for some of these guys. I'm not going to wish it upon them, but shit happens. People get injured. So I know on paper, you're looking at your lineup like this is awesome. This is great. This happened to us as Sox fans last year, where we were like, "Oh, on paper, we're awesome, we're great," and we ended up just shitting the bed all year. So it's just shit like that. Of course, I know. I mean, a guy like Dansby Swanson, he's gonna show up and do phenomenal. But it was just what I was throwing into our boy Pete in our group chat. You guys signed a bunch of bats. Where's the arm? Where's anybody in that arm? Anyone in that rotation? Anyone in that bullpen does not scare anybody. It really, like, Hendricks is done. Jameson Tyone, while he had a good little stint in New York and whatever, he's nothing to write home about. Nothing really too crazy. So until that gets figured out, I'm not going to be rooting or thinking that they're going to be the favorite in the Central. I still think the Cardinals are heavy favorites. They definitely have more talent on that squad than the Cubs and anybody else really in the NL Central. But let the 162 games play out. I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo anything just yet. I'm if knowing Cubs fans are very excited. Some are a little hesitant, just like I said, but good on them. Just it's better than what the Sox have been doing. The Sox did just today or the day before sign some international free agents. I know Juan Uribe Jr., 16-year-old, getting some big contract, like I said. So whatever, that's fine. We're looking forward for the future. Well, it's disappointing. We're going to be watching some shitty Sox games for now, probably just in the upcoming future. Back into that talk again. That's just not what I like to hear. Yeah, like I said, I got one little fun thing on Andrew McCutchen. Also, in the terms of talking about free agency, he's gonna be coming back to the Pirates for a year. But did you know anything? Did you know he was a big furry guy? Do you know what a furry is, my dude, my guy?
Yeah,
Are you are
I
you
think I do.
are you familiar with the furry community and what they partake in, what they do?
I kind of. I didn't know there's a community, but
Yeah, there's a big old community. They love. I mean, for the I guess the short cliff notes on it would just simply they just like to dress up as big furry animal costumes, and they like. I'm trying to talk and pull up this video at the same time, but they like to dress up in somewhere of upwards of $10,000 animal costumes and be animals, act like animals, or whatever it may be. But
$10,000.
yeah, it could be upwards of $10,000 sometimes. They put a lot of work and a lot of detail into those costumes, my guy. So no, I'm not gonna sit there and shame anybody. What you do is what you do. Hey, I collect toys. So some people, everyone has their hobby. So it's just fun on that. So they also are beneficial. Whatever. So when most of the time when they do their conventions, they donate to big animal charities and stuff like that. I believe the last time they haven't met in over 2 years, according to the video that I just saw. If you want to watch this video, it's called "Why Andrew McCutchen Loves Furries." This is why I'm talking about this. I'm sorry for such a horrible setup to this, but if you go on YouTube, Foolish Bailey is the YouTube channel. So like I said, as soon as you're done watching this video, you're watching this episode of No Substitute for Sports, go ahead, go over to Foolish Bailey's video titled "Why Andrew McCutchen Loves Furries." You'll be able to dive in and get a better understanding of what I'm talking about. But according to this guy, just a fun little video, Andrew McCutchen absolutely rakes when he's around furry conventions. It's been 3 separate occasions where he's simply tweeted out the word furries. And after that happened, not only did Twitter explode, but his offense exploded after that. In 15 games where he has been around or in the vicinity of furry conventions, he has, again, in 15 games, 3 home runs, averaging 419, an on-base percentage of 479, and a slugging percentage of 742 around these that are called anthrocons. Uh, so he's been doing that since 2014. So in a 15 game stretch, it's safe to say that Andrew McCutchen would be the greatest baseball player if furry conventions, if just furries were allowed to attend games as is. So I think that's just, like I said, I think that's just a fun little thing. So between, I don't know what the exact dates are of these anthrocons. Definitely look it up in the future between like July 1st and like maybe like July 7th or something like that. That's usually when it's been these tweets have been coming out. Make sure you hammer any props that Andrew McCutchen might have that day. Take him to home run, take him to get doubles, anything like that. He is absolutely killing it when it comes to the furries. Did you have anything to comment, anything to add after hearing this brand new news about Andrew McCutchen and the furry community?
Go bet on him anytime he's in one. That happens.
Oh man, I like I said, when I stumbled across this video, I thought it was so funny, and in no shape or form was I like, this guy's like 100% taking it seriously. No, this guy's just he's doing it all for fun. So again, take a double check and look at the video. It's only like 8 minutes long. It's definitely worth your while. It's just fun little stuff to talk about. I think that's just nice to see. So
Yeah, so I keep looking back at the TV because my brother is at the Blackhawks game today, and he's actually in the front row, so
oh shit.
I see him
Oh
on
nice.
TV.
Make sure you record it. That's
Yeah,
something my
I'm
dad
gonna
would
have to
do.
take a video.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the telly. You want me to tape it? Yeah, you
I see
tape
him
it.
and his buddy Nelson. I
Hell
just
yeah.
saw him freaking out because someone just crashed into the boards right by him.
Oh, that shit's
It's just so
always
I can
fun.
literally tell that it's a jacket he always wears.
Oh yeah,
I'll show you after, but
definitely. Oh man, yeah, that's good. That's definitely good. That's a nice little. I think, yeah, it's a good way to end MLB. I had just division winners odds, but honestly, just for the sake of time, we don't really need to get into that. Just the only thing that took me by surprise, if you saw anything at all, some odds books, some sports books had the Sox as the favorite in the NL in the AL Central.
how
Uh, just as a Sox fan,
don't do
just don't
that.
do it. As much as we want to say hammer it or do whatever, it's just not looking like we want to do that. In other ones, I've seen Guardians first, which is probably what it's going to be. Sox second. Even then, I'm just like, I don't know. I think the Minnesota Twins could still probably do a little bit better than us. It sucks. It really hurts to say that on a fucking Chicago podcast where we're trying to up get these guys on the up end, but it's just you got to be realistic sometimes. If it was the other idea for the show, I'd call it the realistic middle or realistic fan, whatever it's. But no substitute for sports sounded a little bit better, so I went with that. If you're good on that, you're good on MLB. Quick little tidbit on MMA, and then we can get into the wrestling, and then we can finish off on that. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right, coolio. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to keep you here any longer than you have to be. Francis Ngannou was stripped of his UFC World Heavyweight Championship after failing to come to a contract agreement with the UFC. It just came to a surprise. I think that broke on maybe Friday or Saturday night when the games were going on or something like that. But either way, disappointing to hear that. We were definitely looking for some people in the world were definitely looking forward to Ngannou versus Bones Jones. Jesus Christ. But
Hmm.
it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Our former degenerate member Bill kind of was alluding to that. He was thinking, yeah, Ngannou just wanted to beat up tomato cans, and he didn't want to go up against anyone worth it. So I don't know. Like I said, it's disappointing to hear. I don't know if you got any thoughts on that.
Um, no, yeah, I mean, I'm not really too much in the UFC, but
Yeah. I'm not, yeah, of
yeah,
course, not going to lose sleep over this anytime soon. Not really like and anyone, no, not really like that, of course. But yeah, just like I said, in terms of just like a betting opportunity, or just we do like and appreciate the world of UFC and the world of MMA. So just not being able to see a big title fight like that, disappointing to see, of course. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess it'll just be more. Everyone will just remember him more for just punching Danger Aaron's nuts in the Jackass movie that just came out. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, just final last little topic, last little array of of things to get into. We're in the world of wrestling. Yeah, like I said, kind of disappointing. I guess this was a little impromptu adding this again towards the beginning, but yeah, again, if you just jarring brand breaking new news as of January 17th when we were recording this, just Jay Briscoe, of course, passing away. That was just very unfortunate. Kind of just yeah, nothing that we already just didn't say earlier. So that was just still rattled thinking about that. I'm sure while we're having not on it right now, and I know you don't have a Twitter, I'm sure that the wrestling world on Twitter is just exploding with tons of just love and just, I mean, I would hope love. I know, of course, the Briscoes have been in some trouble before with being essentially being canceled before canceling even happened, but and just whether or not you want to do that, just it's a shame when something like that happens to, again, we already said there was just so much positive opportunity to happen in the Ring of Honor for the Briscoes here on out, maybe even opportunity in New Japan, maybe again just big maybes of maybe they could have finally broke the glass ceiling, and the executives on AEW would have finally put them on TV or something like that to you know give the people what they want. But of course, again, you just gotta heal to bend the knee to the cancel culture. So whatever, it's fine. Unfortunately, again, this is just not what you want to hear. Not at all what we were expecting. I had a slew of notes and wrestling stuff to get into, so just I just feel like, again, if we were going to go over wrestling, it'd just be a little disrespectful not to bring it up again, even though we just brought it up a little
Yeah.
bit earlier. But just very, again, just kind of gathering in emotions, and I'm sure while we are recording, there'll be tons of things after the fact, after we're done recording, that we're gonna come up and people are gonna want to say, and huge tributes and just stuff like that. But I'm always on the flip side. I'm always on the not gonna say it, but it doesn't matter. It's just just give him the tribute, of course. But yeah, just a freak accident like that, you can't say like, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. It's a very scary accident that just, I don't know. The details will come out, of course. Just yeah, just like I said, just one of those things. You just grab your loved ones tight, hold them, say I love you, kiss them, and then just go on with your day. It's a tough one to think about. So again, just didn't want to overlook it again. Didn't want to think about that. But again, just guys like FTR, if you're gonna catch into their podcast, just everyone from AEW, Ring of Honor, every wrestling personality that has a podcast would be some way related to them, probably has something positive to say about them. Even Jim Cornette, as shitty of a guy that he is sometimes, he actually does have a little bit of positive things to say about guys that he works with. Guys like the Briscoes, who put on phenomenal tag team matches, from not just from this year, if you were just exposed to them this year, but just essentially carrying the Ring of Honor tag team division earlier, when it was, when Ring of Honor was basically just underground company, when it was still the Young Bucks there, when it was still the Motor City Machine Guns popping in and out when they had time. But again, when Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas came back in the mid 2010, stuff like that, this was just a team. And even two guys that they both, Mark and Jay Briscoe, both had very solid singles competitions and singles matches when they were both when one of them had to be injured or something like that during the time. So again, just off the top of my head, it's a shame to think about, and I don't even think about wanting to even know the details just yet of what it was, if maybe it was speeding or if someone else hit him or something like that. Just unfortunate. Again, just whatever it is, it's a shame. I'm sorry if I was
Oh no,
talking
that's
on that a
fine.
little too long. So if you're good on that, I had a couple other tidbits on wrestling. Uh, I mean, like I said, it's tough transition talking about something like that. So grueling, grimacing, to trying to be a little lighter. So I apologize for that, but I still want to get through this. Want to get through, roll through what I had prepared. So I guess just what the negative that I would maybe put in, or the positivity, I'll flip it and be, I guess, a little negative on the WWE or some. That was a bad transition, bad talking to that, but talking just more or less about WWE being sold. That has been the big hullabaloo and howdy do literally up until probably this point. of the wrestling Twitter and the wrestling community. Been nothing but negative blowback, not only from fans but from wrestlers who said if this were to go through, they would just straight up leave. Of course, I know names are probably connected to that, but it's a tough look, of course, when Saudi Arabia, whatever people think that the Saudi money goes to. I know some people want to justify it, say that it goes to this, it goes to that, it goes to this, it goes whatever. It's just a tough look when you're trying to basically outsource your company to a company, a country that just doesn't believe in human rights. So it's a tough
Yeah.
look. I know there's been a bunch of speculation of who's going to buy it actually besides Saudi Arabia, but I mean, what was your initial reaction? I know a lot of people went immediately to rage, anger, or just dismissive, but what was your initial thought when you heard this news?
Um, I mean, yeah, I was shocked. That I didn't think that it was real at all, but it seems like there are factual reports that it's possibility of happening. It's crazy. I just, yeah, I mean, there's honestly no words for it. I can't believe that they would even consider selling to a place like that.
Yeah, and I know, of course, we aren't the biggest WWE stands, of course,
No.
but we've almost I've kind of almost pledged my loyalty to AEW at this point. But of course, I'm not going to be anti WWE to the point where I'm not going to watch it ever. But I've got the Royal Rumble coming up. Is it to the point for you where as such a diehard W or just this diehard wrestling fan, to if this does actually pull through, are you going to be one of those guys, those fans that just never turns on the WWE product again, never buys a WWE ticket, a WWE toy, or something like that? Is that are you would just be completely anti WWE after that point?
Yeah, I see people say that, and it's definitely something that I would think about, but I mean, yeah, it's just I would have to see what they would do after
Yeah,
they purchase them, but
that's fair.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think being reactive of this is being so quick and reactive of to it's tough to to hear that, and to of course your people already have their biases and already have their pre-existing thoughts of what Saudi Arabia is or what it represents, and again where exactly this money would go to and what it funds and whatever the fuck. So convincing anybody of that, it's tough. But again, just overall, just the PR pushback, it's just it can't be. It's not good. It just hasn't been good. Everyone's been just nothing but negativity. Other than like comedians probably putting up jokes and shit. Like I don't see anyone that's like pro Saudi Arabia buying this shit. If anything, it's been nothing but negativity. It's just when you hear shit like that when they do the shows over there, the women are already subjugated to not being able to wear their regular attire. People are already speculating that it was like, be like, all right, buy women's division. Just that's just not
Yeah.
going to be a thing anymore. It's just again, that's really hardcore, like hardcore one side of that's just that would be the thing. But again, there's just a little bit up in the air. The of course the blowback has been just nothing but negativity, big negativity, and for good reason. Like I just said, it's not you're selling it to Disney. You're selling it to well that's I was just about to say you're not selling to Disney, but you're selling it to people that kill people. But I think Disney probably has their a little bit of blood on their hands too. I'm not gonna we can't speculate that here as well. But either way, uh, just yeah, hearing that as a fan, definitely disappointing on like the shame on you type deal. But it brought up a bunch of interesting things of who could it be, who could buy it, who could do this. What are your thoughts on if the Tony Khan family would go ahead and throw their hat into the ring and go ahead and make a purchase on the WWE, or at least make an offer? Any
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
I was hearing about that, and that would be crazy if WWE got purchased by Tony Khan. I mean, then he would literally have complete control over the company. I mean, over just the wrestling business in general, because
Essentially, yeah. I
he
mean,
has all these doorways to all the different companies already. He would basically be able to do anything that he wanted. So,
He
That
would
would
almost
be
become everything he hated in Vince McMahon, but he wouldn't have New Japan, but he essentially has New Japan wrapped around his little finger. I would say, but yeah, I think you're kind of right on that one. Go ahead. Sorry if I
no,
jumped
yeah.
in.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, it would be pretty great. Yeah, it would be pretty insane if he did that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
booking, the amount of booking opportunities would be insane. I just love the one picture of, oh, that the contract that WWE purchased says Khan, but it doesn't say Nick Khan, it says Tony Khan. He's pulling the whole WCW thing from back in the day. Um, I think that's good, but obviously, still up in the air. Could be sold to NBC, Disney, one of those two type big hitter companies. Another one that I heard, should The Rock buy WWE? He went ahead and already purchased the XFL off of Vince McMahon's hands. Why not the WWE? He's already a billionaire. He'll make his money back no time with another Jumanji movie or something stupid. Why not? What do you think about The Rock buying it?
Hey, if he has the money for it, why not?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. I'm all for it.
yeah.
Everyone loves The Rock.
My my only thing is he'll end up buying it. He'll end up booking himself as the champion again, though. That's gonna be the only problem. That's gonna be the only issue. I mean, Grant, whatever, he's 70 years old and he still looks like he is. I mean, he's not 70 years old, of course, but he's old as all hell. He's bolder. He's not just The Rock anymore. He's looking good, but I don't know. Having him in there in a match or whatever, everyone's already speculating that he's going to be at Royal Rumble. He might be in the WrestleMania match with Roman Reigns. Yada yada yada. Oh, we'll see. My mind, if he did buy, if The Rock did buy it, does Triple H become the booker? Or, even a side note, sidebar, should Triple H start his own company if they end up selling it to Saudi Arabia? What is Triple H? What's the future hold for Triple H? Maybe. Any thoughts on that one?
Um, yeah, I mean, Triple H has showed that he's more than capable of doing like fine on his own with NXT and stuff. Yeah,
A little out there with these pitch black matches and the scramble match they just had with Shawn Michaels, I suppose. But yeah, he had a somewhat of a keen eye for talent, I suppose. I think that Jonah signing was pretty good. Uh, Other than that, I mean, couple of hits, a couple of misses for sure, but either way, just in terms of booking, maintaining realistic storylines and shit like that, Triple H has done pretty well, and making NXT exciting when it was from mid 2010 to 2016, 17. That was great. So I mean, that's some of the best matches. Yeah, I still even think about the Adam Cole Ricochet match, or just the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa feud. Just phenomenal
mm-hmm.
storylines that were put together under the watchful eye of Triple H. So he's proved that he can do it. I think it would be, I threw that out there, of course, and then as soon as I'm done, like that would just be almost like sacrilege. Like you're biting the hand that feeds you. Like you've had Vince McMahon, owner of the WWE, and then you just go like, I'm gonna fuck off and start my own company now and be your competition in some sort of aspect. But that's a tough look at. That was just it's just fun while we had this here for what ifs. Finally, or not finally, excuse me, but I just just thinking about it in my mind, if the sale did go through negatively towards the WWE, just opens up a wide opportunity, great vast positive opportunity for AEW audiences to gain, Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, just all the opportunities true to roof. Like it's unreal. And then just like I said, even the idea of just WWE stands, just even if they're, I think for every WWE stand that's just going to stand by them, no problem, there's going to be another red blooded, star spangled, awesome American to counter with, no, thank you, Saudis. I'm going to tune into a new wrestling show. And I think that might be the case if that's what ends up falling through. That's just my little thoughts on it. So if you're good on that, I had two little things on this. I'm sure with time will tell. I think the deal isn't, like I said, deal isn't done. There's still speculation, and then there's still tons of news to happen. So I guess we're just gonna keep a watch out. Nothing's set in stone just yet. So that was basically that with the Saudi Arabia. Unless you had any final comments on that.
Um, no,
All
no, I
right,
think I'm
cool,
okay.
cool, cool, cool. Last two little quick things. I'll breeze through them really really fast. Santino Santino Morella. He's back in Impact, or not back in Impact, just back in the wrestling business. He is the DOA, something of authority, the distribution of authority for Impact. It's just on air persona as a general manager. I think they just kind of wrote off the fat guy. They just put the one guy through the table. Bubba when they were trying to light it up on fire. Again, I can't remember remembering
Oh, the
Impact
Scott
stuff is so.
Demore.
Yeah, Scott Demore. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
throwing Scott Demore through the table. I think that was supposed to be his write off of television, and then to get Santino Morella, an onstage persona type deal. So good on them. I mean, if you find him annoying, that's cool. I know he's got some backstage shit, so that's whatever. But I think he was always personally, he was entertaining to me. And I mean, just every time he cut a promo or he was out there, even when he was out there with Vladimir Kozlov doing stupid shit, he still was entertaining. So good on him. Good
Yeah,
to
I
get him a
love
speaking role.
Santino.
Yeah, and I don't think he's gonna be any action anytime soon. He had that neck injury, so just gonna be on the mic. Love it. Can't wait for that. Excuse me, last little thing, we'll get on out of here on well, maybe a melancholy, maybe a positive, little negative, depending on how you want to take it. There's just been reports through the weeds, through the wickets, through the dirt sheets that this may be Sting's retiring year. This may be his last year as a wrestler competing in the ring. Makes, it's fine. He's up there in age. He's put up actually some bangers as just Darby Allin's tag team partner these past couple of pay-per-views, and just big dynamites, when he was at I think, Winter is Coming and shit like that. So he's made his presence known. He's done nothing but beneficial, and there's never been a time, maybe maybe the one time where I think he was trying to do the Stinger death drop and he just completely botched it, but that's okay. Other than that one little snippet, he's been just jumping off stuff and being perfect. So it's been a phenomenal year. It's been a nice year watching him, and I'm sure whatever his final send off, his last couple matches, they'll be big, they'll be entertaining, and they'll go off with a big bang. So I can't wait for that. Have anything on that? Any comments on Sting?
Oh, we love Sting,
Oh
man.
yeah.
He's been great in AEW, and
Ow!
he's finally been utilized correctly.
Yeah.
And he's had great, like you said, he's had great matches, and they've, I mean, yeah, he's done crazy stuff in like all of his matches, which is just, it's awesome.
Yeah, from us witnessing him when we were in Daly's place in Jacksonville, jumping off the poker chips onto Ethan
Yeah.
Page and Scorpio Sky. What else has he jumped off of?
Oh, I
Jumping
jumped
off
off
of
the bit,
the,
like the railing
yeah,
onto
jumping off the
people,
stage,
and
jumping off the
like,
railings, jumping off of everything, jumping on to Jeff Jarrett and Rahanman Singh the last time. It just he's been everywhere. It's been tons of fun to watch him have his nice little renaissance of his career, final last little chapter, and like you said, finally being utilized well. I think he had that little injury and not doing so well in WWE. Uh, some people would argue that probably he wasn't utilized also well in WCW, but I think he had an okay little impact run. I think that was a nice little solid time of his career. That's again maybe a little personal bias. Keeping the legacy alive. Maybe his daughter, currently still training, is Sting's daughter. So maybe in some sort of capacity, keeps the torch, keeps it going. I think that's pretty positive light, and just maybe just a side note, pretty cool considering also that Roddy Piper's daughter was also just appearing on AEW Dark, Teal Piper, if you were able to catch that. So maybe some potential Legends daughter tag team, just to
mm,
maybe just throw that little idea out there if that's already hasn't been brought up. Uh, yeah, you know what? I think that was all pretty good. Like I said, I don't want to see the Stinger end also. Oh well, but of course, all good things have to come to an end, just like this episode. So hopefully, thank you
mm.
for joining us today. If you had any final thoughts, Mike, did you have any closing arguments, any final thoughts?
Um, no, man. I mean, I think we covered
Oh,
everything.
we covered more than everything today. We had a nice long episode today. I think just thinking off the top of my head, until further notice, this might just be a YouTube show. It is what it is. SoundCloud's being a little bit of an ass wipe, so telling me I gotta pay a yearly subscription when I've been
The
uploading
fuck?
episodes nonchalantly for almost a year and a half now. Get whatever SoundCloud. I'm not a rapper. I'm not trying
We're
to pay
getting
money for
views
this.
on here
Yeah, we're
anyway.
doing okay. Thank you. Yes, thank you for those who did catch the last episode. Thank you for those who shared it around, liked it, subscribed. I saw a couple more for that. Well, it's just minuscule in some. It's just nice to see that on my end and whatever. So that was actually the last episode. The last post was the most viewed thing on this channel. So that was pretty cool to see as well.
Wow.
So again, while it's nothing groundbreaking, I'm not getting Mr. Beast views. I'll take it for what it's worth for being a word of mouth podcast essentially. So thank you
Mm-hmm.
for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. For those watching, listening, Alan, take your notes. Thank you, Troy, as always. Thank you, Mike, for joining me, taking the time out of your day. I'm gonna fuck up what side you're on. So thank you if
Oh,
you're on this
that's
side, or thank you if you're on this side. I think the video likes to flip you on your end. So I did that last episode. I pointed to Alan. I said, "Hey, it's Mike," and I pointed to you, and I said, "Hey, that's Alan."
I
So that's
appreciate
cool.
you having me on, man.
Absolutely,
I'm getting
absolutely.
antsy just because I'm starving and I need my Wendy's or
I'm
else I'm
sorry.
gonna jump out a window or
Well,
but
if
yeah,
that's the case, like I said, let me get you out
no,
of
it's
here.
fine. I have to say one more thing. If
Oh,
no one
sure.
has seen The Last of Us on HBO Max, if you're still here, watch The Last of Us HBO Max.
There we
It's a
go.
great adaptation from the video game. Most shows fuck it up, or movies when they do video game stuff like Halo or Uncharted or like any of that shit. It's always just bad. But this, I mean, it's only been one episode, but it was like spot on to the game. And as someone that's like, as people that play the game, it just that's the stuff that you want to see from those kind of shit, from that kind of shit. So
Hell yeah.
it
Hell
was
yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. Very well said. I haven't watched it myself just yet. I haven't played the game either, but I'm I'm
That's
I'm
kind of
I'm a
good. That's good too, because then you can
yeah.
watch the show and you have no idea what's gonna happen. Like
Oh,
me,
for sure.
I know like stuff that's gonna happen,
Oh,
which
okay.
kind of sucks. But
Okay. But still, yeah, you can sit there and be like, "Oh, I liked how they how they made that into that or something like that." So yeah, I'm
yeah, like
definitely
they
gonna.
took word for word, like shot for shot, like from the video
Oh,
game
that's
in the
awesome.
show.
Okay,
It was really
cool.
cool. I'll send. I mean, once you watch it, I'll send you this video
Definitely.
that
Okay, yeah.
compares the two.
Yeah, I'll probably try and hop on that tonight or the night or tomorrow or something like that. That'll be definitely for sure awesome. Yeah. Yeah, let you get on out of here. Episode number 2 in the books, no substitute for sports. Go ahead, hit that Bet Rivers link. It'll be in the description and all that fun stuff. Till then, take care of yourself and each other. We'll see you next time.
Spike that hair.
Woo.